Hello and welcome to another round, well, the final round of Let's Race Grand Prix Legends for the 1965 season. We're here, round 10 of the championship, the Mexican Grand Prix at the Hermanos Rodriguez circuit. I think in 1965 it was called just the Circuit of Mexico City or something like this. But obviously raced in F1 for many years, kind of on and off into the late 80s. Really great circuit. It's changed a bit since this race, and we'll take a look at the circuit in a second, but it's a really fantastic track, and I think it's going to be a really exciting race here today to end our season, our first season, my rookie season. You know, and a lot has happened, so why don't we take a look really quick at the point standings, just refresh ourselves as to where we are. You can see in first place Graham Hill with 49 points, and in second, Jim Clark with 39 points. This whole season, I guess, has been the story of whether Jim Clark was going to be able to catch Graham Hill and John Surtees, with Surtees being injured because of that sports car accident, and being out in the last race in America and here. You know, he's frozen at 33 points for the season, which isn't very good, but Graham Hill has been able to do very well all season with 49 points now, 10 points over Jim Clark. He's got the championship wrapped up. So now it's really to see, as you look further down in the standings, fourth place Dan Gurney and Jackie Stewart are tied, so it's going to be really interesting to see which one of them ends up in the fourth position for the championship. It's really whoever finishes higher in this race will take that spot. As you look, I'm in sixth position with 19 points, a little too far behind Dan Gurney and Jackie Stewart to have a real shot to overtake them in the standings, and Lorenzo Bandini in seventh place, also 8 points behind, so it would be really difficult for him to overtake me in the championship. So it looks like, you know, that's where I'll be, and I'm pretty happy with that. All of my races that are counting for points are points scoring races, and I think that's really good for a rookie season, especially in these days when the cars were so difficult to drive. You know, I really couldn't have hoped for a better season. And you can look through the rest of the standings there. We've had a good number of one-off drivers this season, and here we are at the last round. So looking back at last race, the American Grand Prix, the United States Grand Prix, you know, making the switch from Ferrari to Brabham, drove the BT7 and did really well. And so for this race, I'll be driving the BT11, which is the newer spec car, which is great. It should give me a better chance at doing well in this race. So why don't we talk about this race a little bit. In real life, it's run a 65 lap race, and Richie Ginther, the American, won for Honda. First Honda win of the season, maybe of all time. Richie Ginther winning his first race as well. He dominated the race, leading all 65 laps, and really it actually wasn't so much of a runaway as you might think. Graham Hill was kind of right behind him for most of the race and had a late engine problem which put him out, which gave Richie the win. You know, he might have won anyway, but you know, it's really cool to see a driver win for the first time. I think everybody kind of enjoys that. Jim Clark also had problems in this race with his engine, so kind of leaving out some of the two main championship contenders and allowing Ginther to take the points, you know, the win. So I want to take a look at the track map here. This 3.1 mile 14 turn circuit, really fast track, long straightaways, but then some very tight corners as well. So, you know, some notable sections here. The front straightaway super long, gonna be great to draft, and then this first turn, probably one I'm not feeling as comfortable with as I maybe should, but it's kind of you have to shift down going into it and then kind of get back on the gas to settle the car and then continue shifting down. It tightens up into this super tight little S here as you go through there. Really need to watch the tires and the inside and outside. Clipping those would end the race right away, and it's something, you know, I don't want, obviously. And then you go down another straightaway through another couple corners and you come to the hairpin. This section of the circuit cut out in the later years, but a really cool corner. Very tight, obviously, 180 degrees, and it's kind of a bowl. You know, I have to watch my line through there. It's really easy to kind of go in fast and then cut the wheel aggressively and scrub off speed that way, but the quickest way is rolling through it and kind of getting on the accelerator as early as possible. After that, you go through the S's, and then the final corner, the Pere Alta, Peralta rather. Really cool corner, banked, high banks. Kind of reminds me of the last corner at Riverside International Raceway, if anybody's familiar with that. So that's the circuit here. We'll be doing 10 laps around it today. So real quick, before we get started, why don't we look at the starting grid. Graham Hill starting up front. You know, that would be the wonderful finish for him, obviously winning this race and the championship. You know, kind of the celebration's all about you, and it's kind of what you always want to do if you're winning the championship. Kind of weird to have a race winner and then the championship winner sometimes takes away from that race winner. But anyway, Dan Gurney starting second in the other Brabham. And Richie Ginther, the real winner of the race, starting third beside me in fourth. Did a pretty good qualifying time, pretty excited about that. Gives me a great place to start, but I'll be on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see if I can kind of fight my way around to get to that first corner in a good spot. And behind me, you see the rest of the grid there. One weird thing, Jim Clark, 18th position. Not really sure what happened to him there. He was either held up on his good laps or had some sort of mechanical problems. So that'll be a bad start for Jim Clark, kind of to cap off a so-so season for him. He's either been very good or just completely awful or not there. So that's the starting grid here. I think that's everything I need to talk about. So why don't we get started with the 1965 Mexican Grand Prix. Alright, so here we are on the grid, the car in gear, waiting for the flag now. Flag is up and down kind of right away. Getting a good start off the line, almost up onto the front row. Looks like Dan Gurney able to get better of me. I see one BRM flying up the inside there. It's Jim Clark, or Jackie Stewart rather. Now we'll head into this first corner. Should be an interesting corner, kind of a later braking, not really braking, shifting down, kind of just working your way down into a low gear. Looks like we got ourselves all single file here. Very careful through the tires, and brake checking a little bit there. One of the most nerve-wracking corners for me is now we'll work our way towards this slow speed left-hander here. Very easy to run wide, as you see Jackie Stewart doing in front of Gurney here, and Gurney's going to take advantage of that. Doesn't look like he's able to really get around him, and I'm able to get to the outside of him as well. He's going to slot in behind me, is now going towards the hairpin. Roll the car through the corner. A little bit of sliding that time, but not too bad. So now we'll go through this quick flick here. Love that series of corners there. And we'll work our way to the S's. Kind of just playing with the throttle the whole time here. It's really easy to kind of overdrive yourself. Just put the car into too much of a slide, you'll kind of overheat the tires. One of the tracks that it's possible to do that on pretty easily. Coming out of the S's there, good exit. Doing really well here on the first lap. I think I'm in third position. Having gotten around Ginther on the start, I have no idea where he was. And then with Gurney making that move, able to get around to him as well. Now I concentrate on Stewart. And I think Hill in front of him, as that is just the first lap. Coming down the straightaway here, have to watch my mirrors, make sure I don't see Gurney jump out to the inside. Also don't want to miss my braking zone here. Brake maybe a little earlier than I have to. Put the car into a four-wheel drift and then down into the second gear. Through the tires again, just be a little more careful than every other corner. Really have no chance to run wide there. You just have to put your mind into Monaco mode for a second. No room for errors. As the rest of the circuit really has a lot of runoff. And now really close to Jackie Stewart. And I think I'm actually quicker than him. Brake just at that 100-meter sign. Down into first gear. Rolling through the corner, can see the rest of the field stream by to my right there. Running through that super fast little chicane. Now back into the S's. Down into second gear. Kind of a weird entry there, not optimal. And Gurney is right on me. VT11, and we're in equal cars. Going into the final corner, looks like I'm kind of able to outbrake him there. I'm going to have to do everything I can to stay in front of him, but of course, if he gets on the inside of me, I might be a little more cautious than I would with another driver. He is my teammate, and we see what happens, or we saw what happens when you get in an incident with your teammate. And he's right behind me now. I'll keep it kind of one lane to the inside here, having to make him really fly to the inside if he wanted to make the move. Down into this first corner, super fast. Braking not in a straight line is just so challenging in these cars, especially with the way I like the brake balance set up. Almost missing my shift there. Crowd to the outside there. Mexican Grand Prix always had a large number of drivers, and there I'm throwing it on the grass. A large number of people attending, I meant to say. Getting a little discombobulated there. Car kind of broke away from me. Not good losing the position there to Gurney. I was driving really tough. Almost running a little wide through that kink now. I have to buckle down and get back into my rhythm. I can hope that he might make another kind of weird try to make a pass on Stewart. Maybe send both of them into the gravel. Wouldn't want to be wishing that on my teammate. But this is racing. You take what you can get. There's Gurney pulling out quite a ways from me there. Making a big error, obviously, though. This final corner now. Just love the banking on it. Able to keep it flat for pretty much the whole thing. I don't have any sign of anyone behind me, so looks like I'm pretty much alone. A little bit angry with myself for making that mistake. Still got plenty of time to hopefully get it back. Really careful through the tires there. Now just roll it through the hairpin. I believe I'm quicker than Jackie Stewart. Dan Gurney might have a little speed on me, but he's being held up, which could play to my advantage. Running a little too hot through these S's. So easy to do. Gurney looking to the inside again. Not able to do it before the corner there. Stewart really trying hard to hold his position. It's going to allow me to close up just a little bit. Sneak a look at my pit board this time around. 6 laps to go. P4. So I'm kind of right where I started there. I had P3 though. I want that back. Obviously, Gurney getting around me after making a mistake. It's not something I want to show the Brabham team. I'm looking forward to 1966. it through that little series of corners there very nicely, making sure not to run wide, of course. Running a little hot there though. Making sure to keep the rear end planted, not run into the grass. Just getting crossed up there. Not losing too much time, I don't think, though. Now that hairpin is such a great corner. It's kind of a shame they took it away from the track. You know, if we had to pick a track in this season that seemed the most safe, I wouldn't take, you know, this one's very safe. I can't really think of another one right now that I would say is more safe. Really kind of ahead of its time in safety. Large runoff areas, walls around most corners. Really kind of a future-proof track. Of course, not as safe as the tracks today, but very safe for the mid-1960s. As you see, Gurney looking again in the final corner, not able to make it happen, and I just keep inching closer and closer each lap. BT11 I like. It's got the 5-speed. It's a little bit easier for me to manage, being used to that Ferrari 5-speed I drove all season. The first corner braking a little early. Not sure what these two in front are going to be doing. Getting a good exit there. Right on Gurney, but nowhere to go. First gear again, just roll it through nicely there. That was a pretty good run through that hairpin that time. I'm right on Gurney now. He's obviously being held up by Stewart here. What I'd like to see is both of us get around Stewart, but of course I would like me to be in front. Losing a little time in that second to last part of the S. Gurney once again into this final corner, looking towards the inside. Not going to be able to make it stick. We're seeing a pattern emerge here. Gurney looking to the inside on the front stretch. Really try into turn one. This could get messy. Braking hard for turn one. Looks like Gurney's behind Stewart still. Just gonna watch these tires. Those would instantly fold the suspension, if not knock off the wheel. Down into second gear. Car wanting to break away from me. I don't think I would be able to make a pass that would work in the hairpin here. So all I can hope is get a good run off of it. Getting a lot of wheel spin that time. Lots of opposite lock. But gaining on Gurney here. No room to throw it up the inside there. Gurney running very wide there. He's kind of offline as well. And I can see a lapped car ahead. This could make things pretty interesting. And the lapped car getting in the way of Stewart, as well as Gurney. And I'm able to get up the inside. That's more than I could have hoped for there. Kind of a daring dive there, but really what other chance was I going to get around Gurney again? And now I really got to make my way on Stewart here, because I know it's only a matter of time before Gurney makes another move on me. I can hear him behind me, but I can't see him. Second gear now, I'm fighting the car there. Right on Stewart. Seems like down near this hairpin section is really where I'm quickest. Got a little run on Stewart now, not enough though. Hard braking for the hairpin. Make sure not to hit the tires there either. More opposite lock coming off the corner. I'll run it through this fast chicane. Really giving everything I got here to try to get Stewart. Getting a nice run off the exit there. Gurney's right behind me. Final corner here. Got a good amount of run on Stewart that time. And having to get out of the throttle a little bit. I'm right behind him. We're getting very close to the end of the race now. Lost track of what lap we're on. But I'm gaining on Stewart. This is my chance to make the move up to the inside in turn 1. Try not to outbrake myself. Brake a little earlier. Try not to brake into him either. Into second gear. Car wanted to break away, but I'm able to do it. Now I have to put distance on him because I know Gurney's not going to be far behind me. The heart is pounding once again. I can just wish that this is the final lap. I'll check my pit board this time around. Stewart is still right on me. Getting a little sideways into there. Almost running into that curbing on the exit. That would have been bad. Into the S's again. Keeping it in front of Stewart. Final corner. Foot hard on the throttle. Take a look at the pit board. Just one more lap left. One more time around the circuit. And we'll finally put a stamp on the 1965 season. Into turn 1. A bit easier this time. Not having to make a pass on another car. The car getting very sideways there. As I'm saying, it's easy. I'm still driving incredibly quick. Watch the tires. Able to keep it in front of Stewart. Make sure I brake plenty hard for this corner here. Not running wide on the grass. Not making the mistakes again. into the hairpin for the final time. Oh, and getting very close to that outside wall on the exit. And into the S's. It's all about the compromise of throttle here. Third gear now. Final S, getting throttle down. Looking in my mirror, I can see Stewart, but he's pretty far behind me. Final corner here, just a dab of the brake. Now hard on the throttle. And coming out of the turn to take the checkered flag here. Second place finish. I couldn't be happier. Raise my fist in excitement. What an exciting race that ended up being. A little disappointed at my mistake there early on, but able to get back around Dan Gurney with that lap traffic, and then make the pass on Jackie Stewart going into turn 1. I don't know how I kept it stuck there. I'll definitely be interested in watching that again when I finish here, but what an exciting way to finish the 1965 season with my best finish yet. A second place, you know, that really sets me up for 1966. Having a second place finish, I really, you know, to do better would mean to win, and that's what I'm here to do, is to win. You see the Ferrari of Bandini going by. I'm here to win, and now I think I've cemented myself in the Brabham. Did make the mistake in this race, as I said, but it wasn't a terrible one, and I was able to rebound from it. And I really don't think I would have had anything for Hill, who was in front of me. He was just in a league of his own, obviously not having the same engine problems he did in the real race. So go through this hairpin again. Ooh, almost spinning out here on the cool down lap. But such a great track. I really do like this Mexico circuit. Be happy to come back here. It's got a great flow to it. The S section's very challenging. I think I have a lot of time to make up in there. As it's very easy just to push a little too hard. Now coming out of it. I'm just fully enjoying this moment. The next race, there is one more race in 1965, as I've said several times now, but it's right at the end of December, so it might as well be called 1966. And with the engine rules changing so much, you know, we're not racing these cars anymore. We'll be racing the much quicker, larger engine cars. As I missed the pit lane there, I won't worry about it though. I'll park it right here, kind of enjoy my second place finish, and we'll get out of the car. We'll take a look at the final results now. Alrighty. So taking a look at the final results, Graham Hill, as I said, able to win it for the BRM team, winning the championship as well. We'll take a look at those standings in just a second. I'm able to finish second. Really excited about that. What a great end to the season, as I've said. Jackie Stewart finishing third, made the pass on him. Dan Gurney, my teammate, finishing fourth. Not a bad day for Brabham. As you see, Jack Brabham finishing in sixth position, with Bandini finishing fifth. So three Brabhams in the points. Let's hope we'll see a lot more of that in 1966. Looking through the rest of the running, Jim Clark able to get up to seventh position from that he started 18th or 17th starting spot. So that's incredible. I can only imagine what would have happened if he had started up front. Taking a look, just two mechanical problems. A header for Bucknam, and Jochen Rindt has an oil leak. So there we are with this race. So why don't we take a look at the championship standings now at the end of 1965 season. Alright, so here are the standings after all 10 rounds of the 1965 season. So Graham Hill wins the season. Obviously did an amazing job. After the 4 dropped races, all of his points are max points, so he won 6 races in the season, and really no one had anything for him. Jim Clark was very quick, but he just wasn't there, and he had some inconsistent results, but still finishing second is not a bad result, obviously. John Surtees able to finish third, even with missing the last 2 races and not scoring points in Germany and Italy. Is pretty incredible. So the last 4 races this season, he didn't score any points. You can just look what might have been if he was there to maybe take a win or 2 away from Graham Hill. Dan Gurney is able to beat Jackie Stewart in the points results. Pretty incredible there, even with finishing lower in the Mexican Grand Prix, able to drop a no points race for a points race, and that made the difference there. Just 2 points different, getting that 4th place. I settled in nice to 6th, just like I thought, with a nice 6 points in the final round. Showed some good improvement there. Bandini behind me. See Ginther, 8 points. Jack Brabham with 5. Denny Holm with 3. And then Joe Siffert, Jacarin, and Joe Bonnier with 1 point apiece. That is the 1965 season. I really thank everyone who watched it and enjoyed it, and I hope you did. And I'll be back in the future with more videos, not just with Grand Prix Legends, but with more simulations as well. If anybody has a suggestion for maybe another sim that might be good to do a career through, I'd be open for that. I'm looking at maybe doing something with the race series, with the WTCC stuff. But of course, I will be here doing Grand Prix Legends, as I still have many more seasons in front of me. So I thank you again for watching me. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and tell me anything I can do to improve, and I will see you guys next time.